Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. So recently I took a trip up to Toronto just for a weekend, and as you guys know, whenever I do that, I hit up a few of my favorite game stores, and here we are at Toyratt. This is probably my favorite game store of all time. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick tour in this place because I haven't done one in here in, I don't know, a year? Maybe 6 months? I don't remember if I did one 6 months ago, but I think it was at least a year. So yeah, take a look. Once we get inside the main room of the store, you know, he's got this glass case here with all sorts of stuff. I saw a Pog thing in there. That kind of instantly brought back a bunch of memories. But yeah, a lot of more there's a bunch of Game Boy stuff in there, and of course this guy Toyratt, my buddy, he's like the go-to guy for anything first gen or second gen stuff, at least in that area, because he's got tons of it and he's an expert on that stuff too, which is pretty cool. So out here he was testing an Xbox. It's the green, not Halo edition. It's the same molding, but or the same exact color and everything, but it's not the same thing. It doesn't have Halo on it, and I think we didn't get that in the States. They just got that in Canada. There's the Tandyvision and Intellivision, along with a bunch of obviously games for it. Down there you got some 32X and Sega Genesis and Sega Master System in the box. Loose cartridges of the same various consoles, more boxed things, along with just a little bit of boxed Game Gear, actually. More consoles, including there's a Coleco Gemini there, which is hard to find, at least in the US. The Canadian version's easier to find. Obviously, this is in Canada, so that would make sense. A lot of boxed Game Boy, and there's more NES there, and Super NES. More consoles, as well as some N64. A nice white Sega Saturn over there, the Japanese Sega Saturn. That was cool to see. Some DS stuff. A lot of PS1 titles there. Just noticing now there was an Atari Lynx up there in the box. That's cool. Some Famiclones to the side. More PS1. Some Super Famicom games. PS Vita games. A couple of those. Like I said before, there's a better shot of the Sega Saturn. Dreamcast, some Japanese PS1 games, more Sega Saturn games, Sega CD games, N64 loose cart games, a lot of different options there. And then you got more up at the top, along with, you know, some like cheat discs and stuff like that for the Dreamcast. And this is, I had just noticed, this is a new thing. He's got like just, you can buy the replacement shell for the N64, like the RAM expansion plastic part. I've never seen anybody do that before, but he's got that for like every color variant, which is kind of insane. So look at this, a wall of Vectrexes. That is something. A lot of like, you know, box consoles there. A lot of cool stuff. He had changed this since the last time I was in there. Used to have a lot of Xboxes there. Now he's got a lot of Genesis and Vectrex and Atari 2600 stuff, and yeah. So more glass cases here. Now these glass cases often have a lot of the more sought after stuff. So like more high end games that people want, but also more obscure things. Like there's a Virtual Boy in there, Milton Bradley, you know, Simon game, you know, stuff like that. Special edition stuff, Metal Gear Solid stuff, another Virtual Boy. A God of War PS3. Here he's got TurboGrafx 16 stuff, special edition cases, Dreamcast games, mostly North American, as would make sense, but then there's some imports in there. Some Neo Geo stuff, Dreamcast keyboard. Yeah, there's some Sega CD, or Mega CD more accurately, in there, as well as like some 3DO and stuff like that. He's got like a Blu-ray and DVD section over here, which is pretty cool. This is new as well. He put a lot more console boxes up there, which is neat. And you got more, like there's the that's the controller for Steel Battalion for the original Xbox. Really insane controller. Look that thing up. It's just cool. More collector's editions, an Atari like disc drive thing. I'm not even totally sure what that is. More DVDs and Blu-rays, and then another look here at the glass case. You can see, well, back end here, but it's more Super Nintendo stuff. A lot of the higher end, more demand Super Nintendo games, as well as, you know, things like Mario is Missing and Sonic the Hedgehog for Master System and stuff like that. And then you got Scott the Canadian just kind of wandering around in the background there. Dragon Force cartridge for the Saturn. I'm not entirely certain what that's for. It must be for the Japanese version, but I don't really know what it does, because the North American version I don't think ever needed that. So if anybody in the comments knows what that cartridge deal was, I'd love to know. I would assume it has like additional features for the Japanese version of the game, but I don't know. More sought after Saturn and Dreamcast and Genesis and TurboGrafx stuff there. Bunch of cool like Power Rangers cookies. I guess that brand of cookies Scott said is by some company that I've never heard of, which would make sense. They're a Canadian company, so it's cool to see like little variants like that just across the border. More games down there that are more sought after. You got your PS2 section here, as well as PS2 consoles and PS1 consoles as well. Original Xbox stuff, which I'm always happy to see. As well as just some more of the Xbox variants. Again, if this is your first time ever really watching a tour video like this, when I go to Canada, for some reason in Canada, they got a lot of variants of the original Xbox that we never saw in the US. And it's like the Crystal Xbox for one. Europe got a lot of them, but the US didn't. But it's weird. So the GameCube section over there, Xbox 360 stuff as well. I don't know about Xbox 360 variants. That's a possibility, but like, so you saw that bright green one there. That was actually the Mountain Dew Xbox, which actually was an American thing, only sold through like a contest thing. I did a video on it. I got one up here actually, so if you ever want to see more about it, you can check out that video. PlayStation 3 stuff, a little bit of Wii U, and PSP and not so much PS Vita. PS Vita is on the other side, but there is a little bit there. But yeah, PSP. PS4, Xbox One. He obviously handles more of the older generation stuff, not so much the newer generation stuff, but you know, in time. Then comics and all sorts of just cool stuff everywhere. Just, you know, unique stuff you're not going to see in most places. And then he's got a bunch of like replacement parts for consoles or controllers if you ever need them. A bunch of odd controllers as well. But then, you know, standard controllers are in there too, in case that's what you need. He's also got like a big boombox section and some comics and stuff like that. But yeah, and then we'll take a look here at his office. There's gonna be a bit of a jump cut here because I shot this at 2 different points. But yeah, inside the office, there's Scott the Canadian, and there's Toyratt himself back there. You'll see a little bit more of in a second. But yeah, man, that was the updated look at Toyratt.
Toyratt supports We Got Games. Kamal is the man.
Pickups time. Okay, yes, I got a Vectrex. You probably already know this because I did a Vectrex video already on my 2nd gen recap series, and I already told the story of how I got it, so this is kind of old information. But in case you missed that video, well, go watch that video. But if you choose to finish this before you do that, yeah, obviously I got a Toyratt. I got a Vectrex when I was at Toyratt. He gave me a really nice deal on it. He also gave me a free copy of a Hyper Chase here. And on top of that, the thing you haven't seen, of course, is a Toyratt shirt. He gave this to me absolutely for free, so that's what I know you really wanted to see was this new t-shirt I've got here. But yeah, Vectrex, it's in great shape. Like I said in the video, you know, you see there's like a whole wall of those things. And it piqued my interest because I'm like, you know, he's got a ton of them. And like, dude, Toyratt's like the guy for 1st and 2nd gen stuff. Like, he specializes in it in a way I've never seen anyone else do. And so I figured, you know, if there's any good place to get a Vectrex, it's going to be here. And so I asked him about it, and he was like, I was like, do you mind if I take one down off the wall? He's like, you don't even need to. He like pulls one out from just like behind the counter. He's like, here's another one. So he let me like basically mix and match and look through them all and figure out which one was in the best shape, which one I was happiest with, etc., test them all. The screen on this thing is ridiculous. It's really nice. Way nicer than I would have ever expected a Vectrex to really look. It's something you just have to see in person. It's crazy. But yeah, man. So I'm really happy with this. It was good to get this. Like I said, he cut me a deal. He always does that. He always gives me a solid deal. He gives everybody a solid deal. And then of course with the exchange rate being what it currently is, I'm sorry Canadians, I know that's a sore spot for you. That really worked out in my favor as an American. And then of course I didn't pay shipping on it or anything like that. And you know, there's no border fees or anything like that. They're supposed to be, but they're not enforced. But yeah, so that was great. I got it back here and it works great. It's awesome. Yeah, thank you to Toyratt for hooking me up with this, and thank you to Scott for helping me get out there and everything. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all later.